Okay, I'm back for the second video of the day, the video that I did promise a little bit earlier on. And this video, as I said, will kick off the relaunch of this channel. And this one's going to be about my club, some club that I love, the football club that I love, from the town that I come from, Grimsby Town. Now, over this last season, Grimsby Town have been up and down is the nicest way to put it. And to be honest with you, the last 18 months we've been all up and down, and more downs than ups, to be totally fair. It all started when Paul Hurst left in October of 2016. Closely, his replacement was brought in, which was Marcus Bignot, which didn't work. His media acumen was quickly found out. He brought a couple of decent players to the club, but he sold our top scorer to Wigan, Omar Bogle. Never really replaced Omar. We never really looked the same team after Omar left. We didn't seem to know where the net was, and we didn't seem to get any players that themselves knew where the net was. So it's a bit of a shocker. He lasted 5 months in the job, and then we had the return of Russell Slade, or as a lot of people are saying, John Fenty's friend. And it started okay. I mean, we had a good start to this season, and up until around about Christmas, we were actually goal difference away from the playoffs. But then we went on this absolutely dismal run from December the 9th, when we beat Forest Green Rovers 1-0. We did not win again till April. So half the season, and we couldn't find a win for absolutely nothing. You may as well have just put a big bullseye in the middle of in the middle of a giant field that was near enough unmissable. We'd have missed it. It was that bad, you know. We didn't know. It looked like we didn't know each other. Nobody knew what their jobs were. Nobody knew what they were supposed to be doing. And Russell gave his usual, well, we're doing our best, and we're doing what we can. And I think towards the end, especially after his last result, which I think was Crewe, and it was a 3-0 defeat. I think he knew himself he was finished. He knew he had nothing left to give the club. And when he first joined, I was overjoyed, and so friends of mine, a good friend of mine, he was overjoyed with Russell Slade. But we started to realise that Russell's ideas, that they just were, they were flat. They had no bite to them. They had no kick. You know, it was getting to the point where, rather than thinking we can get a result, it went from we can get a result to we could get a result to we're going to lose, aren't we? And that's pretty much how that came about. And then finally the board caved in and listened. For once, the fans were absolutely 100% correct. And Michael Jolly was appointed, the former Burnley Academy coach, and he's coached at Watford and different places like that. So his first managerial role in England, he had managed in Sweden with Alkastuna. I think that's how you pronounce the club's name. Apologies if you're from Sweden and I mispronounced your team's name. But everyone was apprehensive. I look at him not like Paul Hurst, but I look at him as though nobody knew of him, really, apart from maybe in the football circles, of Michael Jolly. And we thought, how on earth is he going to get this team that by this point we had slipped to third bottom, and we were in real dire straits when he joined in March. We were in absolute dire straits, and he started to try and put some things together, tried to get us working and believing, and we thought it was going to be the same thing, because I believe his first game in was Port Vale at home. We did get a good point at home, considering we did go behind to Port Vale, and James Barrett popped up with a great volley, thank God, to get us the point, that a battling point. And then we went to Coventry, and well, we got battered. We got absolutely battered. Coventry, you could tell the difference between the two sides. And then Michael Jolly all of a sudden turned it round. He turned it round, and he made. We got probably the biggest win in Devonley Town's short return, or since the playoff final a couple of years ago, against Chesterfield, who were battling for their lives in League Two, as were we, and that turned the corner. It was a scrappy game all the way around, but we were able to get our last minute penalty, and the coolness that Mitch Rose showed was absolutely phenomenal, because everybody in the ground were cacking their pants, because fans were honestly thinking, and my good friend Chris was thinking exactly the same thing, we're down. He'd already resigned himself to Grimsby being a non-league club again at the end of this campaign. But Mitch Rose, with the weight of the world on his shoulders, popped in the penalty at Blundell Park, and it went absolutely berserk. The place went berserk. Probably the loudest I'd heard Blundell Park since I would say the playoff semi-win against Eastleigh, I believe. It went absolutely nuts, and we then sort of carried on that momentum. We then took the lead against Barnet, who were the other fellow relegation scrappers, shall we say, and we went 2-1 behind in that one, and the fight we showed to get back into that game was completely unreal. So credit to the boys for that. You could then start to see Jolly's work, obviously mentally with the players, started to really hit home, and it was you could start to see a turning point somewhere along the line. They were starting to believe that they could do something, and then we went on to Swindon Town, who we did beat earlier in the season under Russell Slade, and we went to Swindon, and what a massive, to me, that was the win that made us safe overall, but I was always pragmatic. The job wasn't done. We were nearly there, but we had to get a result against Notts County, who were fighting for automatic promotion at the time. We needed a result against them to be absolutely certain of safety, and we got that. We got the result. Mitch Rose, I think it was 3 games in a row, hit 3 penalties. The good thing for Mitch is he also, for April, he got the PFA Player of the Month, which is very, very pleased for Mitch. Of course, people, if you don't know who Mitch Rose is, you may know his brother Danny, who plays for Spurs. Well, Mitch, again, every time he stepped up for the penalty, you kind of felt like he was going to stick it away, but it was very, very tough. And also, the final game of the season at Forest Green, knowing that we had actually secured promotion, it was kind of relax and enjoy. And one of my favourite players, he's not everybody's, but JJ Hooper. He got a hat-trick on the final day in a 3-1 win against, in a 3-0 win, against Forest Green. And I did see somebody post an image on Twitter of a burger being thrown onto the pitch, which made me chuckle with it being a vegan / vegetarian place, Forest Green. But the season then finished, and we had the Player of the Year awards this past Tuesday, and Macca, James McEwen, or who's fastly becoming Mr. Grimsby, he picked up the main award and a majority of the awards alongside Luke Summerfield, who, apart from Macca, really Luke was only one that really did stand out. So congratulations to Macca, really proud as being it's very, very hard for a goalkeeper to win awards like that, but he's stood out and he's pulled out some really important saves, especially in last month, to help us stay in the league. So credit to James and credit to Luke as well. They did most of the awards last Tuesday night. Then came yesterday, which is the main source of this video. Then came yesterday, which is everyone's worst nightmare if you're a player, worst nightmare if you're a manager as well, and interest for the fans as well. Who's going to get retained? Who's going to get offered contracts? Who's going to get released? And right in front of me, I have the whole list of players that have been offered contracts. They've been contracts have been exercised, so extensions have been exercised, and players that have been released. And I've got to say, through seeing it yesterday, I'm not massively surprised by most of the released players. We'll move on with this pretty quickly. As you can see, I've got the list of names just about here. But I'll take you through what they are. The first players to be offered contracts. These are all offered contracts. James McEwen. No surprise there. There is a rumour going around that a 2-year deal is being spoke about, and from what's coming out from Macca himself, it's pretty hopeful, because he has had interest from Motherwell, I believe, and if he did get a Motherwell, he'd be teaming up with Richard Tate, the central defender that was with us during that promotion season. A good player, Richard is as well. Also, Summerfield has been offered a contract by Grimsby, and I wouldn't be against Luke getting another deal or signing the deal. Let's see what he says. Also, Martin Wolford, the former Scunthorpe midfielder. Now, please stay, Martin, just so we can rub it into Scunthorpe. But Martin Wolford, Danny Collins, who, even though he's 37 years old, he does offer you something at centre-back. Andrew Fox, the first signing that Michael Jolly made to go through to the end of the season, he's been offered a deal, as has Akeem Rose. Now, Akeem Rose, he's been with the club for around about 2 years, but he struggled to get a work permit. That has now been resolved, and he has been offered, I now call full-time terms with the club. So, good for Akeem. By the sound of him, he looks like he's going to take the deal, as it sounds like Danny Collins will, and hopefully James McEwen will. The other three will have to wait and see what they decide to do. The players that have had their deals exercised are Siriki Dembele, Max Wright, a young striker who was I believe he was at Scarborough last year, Scarborough Athletic. Harry Clifton and Reece Hall-Johnson have all had their contracts triggered for an extra year. Sariki's got a lot to prove this year because he was talking about Championship clubs and Premier League clubs looking at him in January, and he wasn't too sure whether he was going to be staying or not. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm pleased for Max Wright. He's a young striker. We haven't seen much of him in the first team, but we'll see what he does. Harry Clifton came in, and I'll tell you what, he is. It's good to see a young Grimsby boy really going to go in the team, and I'm pleased for Harry himself, and his performances have, I would say, earned that. Reece Hall-Johnson has come in after his loan at Chester. He's come back, and he's really done well. I'm impressed by Reece. I'm looking forward to watching him next season. Now for the important part, the players that have been not offered terms, as the club put it, but have basically been released by the football club. These are the list of names: Ben Davis, Nathan Clark, James Barrett, Tom Sawyer, Jack Keeble, Ben Killip, Scott Vernon, Carly Osborne, Gary McSheffrey, Sean McAllister and Zach Mills have all been released from Grimsby Town. I'm not really surprised by any of these. Maybe the biggest shock is Zach Mills, but I think that there's nobody on there that I would say. I'm sad to see Ben Davis go, in respect of he really did work hard when he was at the club. I think because he missed a majority of the New Year programme, but maybe that's what cost him it. But there's nobody on that release list that I would say, yeah, that wasn't the right move. And I think again, my friend Chris is, I think, a bit overjoyed that Scott Vernon has now left the club. I think never a fan. And Scott did a job, but he was never really going to be there to score goals. The players now to the players that are still under contract with the club for the 18-19 season. We've got Paul Dixon, Mitch Rose, JJ Hooper, Sam Kelly, and Harry Cardwell. Now, to me, Harry Cardwell deserves more of a chance than what he had, especially under Slady. Slady brought him in, but he never actually used him, which I was a bit disappointed about. So, hopefully Harry gets a decent run. Sam, I wish they'd probably they might transfer this Sam Kelly. A decent player, but he's not somebody that I'd miss if he went. And the only other bit of news from the retained list and the release list is all the players that were on loan for us have all gone back to their parent clubs. Jamil Matt, Jake Keane, Simeon Jackson, or as Merce would like to say, Cinnamon Jackson, but Simeon Jackson, Isaiah Solomon, Dialanga Jayasimi, Malik Wilkes and Charles Vernon. They've all gone back to their parent clubs. I believe yesterday Jamil Matt got released by Blackpool anyway, but they've all gone back, so good luck to all them players. I do follow a couple of them on Twitter, so I did send a personal goodbye to some of them. And just quickly, my overall expectation for Grimsby this coming season, I have just renewed my season ticket for next year. I haven't got any real expectations for next year at Grimsby. I think, as a fan, I'm very pragmatic. I look at situations and go, does this work? Is this the right move? All I want is a squad that is there that want to be at the football club. And that's all Grimsby Town fans ask for. is that when you come here, you want to be here. And I think with Michael Jolly in charge, I'm sure he will not have players or not get players that don't want to be at the club. Because I think over the last 15, 16 months, we've had that. We've had players that's come here but not really wanted to be here. And I think James McEwen is, he had a bit of a huff when Dean Henderson was brought in on loan. But, you know, he has been our best keeper for the last decade. Probably really our only keeper in the last decade. But no, I want players here that want to be at the club, that want to give everything. Guess what? It's true. We're not going to win every game next season. I don't expect them to, but I want the lads to go out there, whoever we get in, and I want the lads to just go play for the club, play for the shirt. Because believe me, Grimsby may be the worst ground to play in when everything's going bad, but believe me, true Grimsby Town fans really get behind you when things are going well. So just come here and give everything you've got, and believe me, the fans will get behind all of you. I can guarantee you that. And I would just say this in behalf of me, Grimsby Town fans, and of course my mate Chris, who is also a Grimsby Town fan. Macca, please get that deal signed. Please get it signed. Please stay with us for at least another 2 years, if you want to, of course, but hopefully you do. So that is my overall look on Grimsby Town at the moment. Any new signings, I will, or murmurings of signings, I will bring that to you in the next few videos. Anytime there's a signing, I will let you know ASAP. And any more dealings out the club as well, I will keep you informed on those. And I will be doing next week a video on the Premier League darts from the O2 on this channel, and I will also be looking at Q School in the snooker. But anyway, we're about 20 minutes in. This is going a bit long. I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna keep it here, and thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I said, this is a new start for me, so videos probably won't be going as long as this next time. As I said, this channel, there won't be as much editing going on at the moment on this channel, but there probably will be in the coming months as well. I'll make sure we've got more going on with these as well, so they're not just me waffling on like a madman. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, anything you want me to talk about, leave them in the comments. I will definitely make a video about that for you. Anything that you want, let me know. So I'll leave it here. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, dislike, do whatever you want, and I will see you guys next week for a Premier League Darts Finals Night preview. Thank you guys, and I'll see you soon.